all right. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. SNL, Sunday Night Live. We're going to hang out here tonight. I got a little bit of room tone going on, and I'm running a little late. When you set up everything and you don't hit public, I've done this before, I should know better. But I'm going to hang out here, clean up some stuff. You guys hang out there. If you want to talk, let me know. Other than that, we're just letting it happen. Hey, what's happening tonight? Sat here for 10 minutes and didn't hit public. My bad. Tonight, I'm getting ready to do some sound effects for the community theater here. And I've got a video that'll come out tomorrow that'll talk about it also. But what it is, this is a soup can microphone. I think I've brought it up before. But it allows me to sound like an old radio. So a couple years ago, a buddy of mine had me make him some old radio sounds for him to use in his play. Now he's back. And I've came up with something a little different. Now, my grandfather and I, we used to talk on ham radios. He passed away years ago. But, and this is a Astatic D104 mic. It's got what's called a crystal capsule in it. And that makes it sound a little radio-y, I guess. Old radio-y. So I'm cleaning this up tonight, and I'm going to convert it to go into a buffer or a pedal for a guitar. Then that'll allow me to control how it sounds a little more. Now, I'm a little plugged up. Got a little bit of a cold, so you have to excuse me. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool looking. And yeah, my set is silent, but I have a little bit of room noise A little bit of room noise going on in the back. Enjoy. I imagine seeing something like this, like in a school movie where the office is talking to him. I know, cool, huh? Cool. Speaking of cool, how do you guys think about me turning that into a 24/7 live stream? Let me know. Yeah, I was thinking about after I get a lot of cool episodes going, when I get it ironed out, just take those and live stream them pre-recorded, and then when it's time for me to do cool, or if I want to add something else, I would just bust into the live stream so it's constantly running all the time. And as we go along, more and more content gets added to it. You picking up what I'm throwing down? Give me a minute, I'll be back in a minute. funny because nobody ever thinks, what if you get a cold? I can't cough in front of you because that would suck. But hey, I'll make it through this. We'll make it through this. Well, yeah, it would loop. But as it grew, it would loop every 2 days, every day. But then I would bounce in when I have what we would call a show. So when I go to do Cool on Friday nights, the stream would just shut off for like 2 seconds, and then I would come on. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make this a real radio station. That's what I'm trying to do. If it makes any difference, let me know. All right, Charlie, you got me. You're smelling what I'm stepping in. You're picking up what I'm throwing down. That's exactly what we're going to do. Then, as it grows, there'll be more, just like a regular radio station. A lot of that's pre-recorded. Or like if they go on vacation, the talk show programs that are on the radio, like, the morning, they go on vacation, they play back episodes. But I would do it so you guys had some kind of trigger all the time. And then, of course, I would poll and find out what triggers you want to hear. Rain, gotta give this the effect. Tapping. Whatever you guys want, that's what I would like to get to. And then even these other things that I want to try to pull off. An ASMR talk interview show, like for Cool. Now remember, this that we're doing here and Cool are two different things. They're Studio L7 ASMR, but I am a picture like this. Studio L7 is Disney. Cool is Marvel. Anyways, when I get these other programs going on that I would love to do, a ASMR interview where maybe we have another ASMR artist, but we do the whole thing whispering. Just whispering. I think that would be cool. Because I've never heard an ASMR. Matter of fact, I got in a text off, I guess. Don't feed the trolls. About they knew somebody that did an ASMR role play radio station. And I had a hard time explaining that this isn't a role play. This is actually a service. this is actually where you'd come to for entertainment, for triggers. I'm not real good at performing. I think I am funny enough and interesting enough, just as I try to make it through life. I mean, just normal stuff is funny to me, but you know what I'm saying. Well, I hear you, and I might take you up on that. It's not if it ever happens. It is happening. It's happening now. I'm just working through stuff because, like I was telling my tech guy, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a ASMR talk show hanging out, a whole thing. Hang on. Can't see your chats. Talk show hanging out whole thing. That's not a how do I put it? I don't want to say fake, because I really like some role plays that got my mic a lot. I really like some of the role plays that I see. So I would say it's like a real radio station. I mean, I want to do, you guys are my buddies. I want to do real shows. It might sound kind of weird now, but just imagine. You can log on anytime, listen to anything anytime. What if I did, hey, I'm going to Ireland in 2 months. What if I did a whole thing from there? And what if I did, I don't know, ASMR in taverns? We got some 700-year-old taverns over there. Castle ASMR. I don't know, but set it up as a show. Maybe even a little bit of knowledge. Like maybe you didn't know there was a 700-year-old bar over there called Dirty Nelly's. I do because I drink there, but just there's always something. It just really, really super excites me. Not in a weird way either. Just all right. I don't know, I'm old, my eyes suck, but Trent, hey, what kind of camera triggers do you want to hear? I got a ton of cameras. I got video. I've now remember I turned pro before you could look at the back of the camera and see the picture. So probably 20 years before you could do that. So I've got mechanical shutter cameras, big cameras, little cameras, all kinds of stuff. Let me know what you want. Yeah, travel ASMR. Travel. Visuals. For visuals? That'd be great. I mean, I could silence the echo, but just the visuals would be awesome. I know those old taverns. We went to Dirty Nelly's, Ben Roddy Castle. I got some family that owns a restaurant over there. And that was really, really something. And I don't think I've ever had any fun. I mean, if you guys drink, you got to go to Ireland. My collection of cameras, I can make a video doing that. What do you think? Go through the collection, explain what I did with them, or do you want me to go like this and tell you, hey, I used this Nikon for the Olympics 1982, like that. Oh, everybody's been drinking, and well, not everybody, but yeah, you're right. I had a lot of fun in Mexico too, in this little town called Tijuana. Yeah. No problem. You are the second person who's asked me about seeing my gear, and yeah, I don't mind. I can talk about it for hours. Matter of fact, I can make a live stream, and that would be what I'd run on Google. I believe that's new 459. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Man, that mic's still hot. All right. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm going to come clean. So, my buddy wrote a play, and he needed somebody to do some old radio. sounds. So I got this mic, and this is a soup can mic. Like I said earlier, I got a video coming out tomorrow about it. Now, he wrote this play, and it's based on a movie, a Russian movie, and it's about these girls that live in this a house. It's not a orphanage or anything. They're pretty much grown, but it's like a house over there for just all women. And I think I found my sweet spot for this. Okay. And there's a phone in there. One phone, and this is Russia 50s, for all these girls. And the play is based on the phone, them talking on it. And I know it sounds weird, but it's different than I'm making it sound. I'm simplifying it a lot. But so he had me come in and we're doing it again, come in and be the person on the phone for the play. So I set up a thing. The control room is over our heads. When you're sitting in the play, it's up and that's where they control the lights, the sound, and everything, so you can see. So he had me do that. Now, the first night, he had a list of stuff, and for the life of me, I can't remember. But they were funny. It's a comedy play. They're funny. But what would happen is the stuff he would have me talk about, the girls that were acting, they didn't react to it correctly. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. They didn't, you could tell they were, oh. So it was kind of weird. So the first night kind of flopped. And everybody said to him, hey, it was great. And the phone's important because the play is based off this phone. Oh, I forgot something. This phone, because it's in the 50s, all the phones in this little town, they run off a switchboard. Well, something gets messed up and the lines get crossed. And that's when it gets kind of comedic. So that we went through, and then so I told my buddy, hey, he goes, I don't know, man, it's just the stuff on the phone. I don't think they're getting it. He was really worried about, because it's based on the phone, they weren't getting his vision of it. I said, you're worried about the phone thing? He goes, yeah, it's just, they don't laugh like I thought they would. I said, and I was pretty bold on this, I said, leave it to me tomorrow. So what I did is I changed it. So, because I watched it, and what I figured is they're not reacting to it correctly. So I said stuff that he didn't have written down, just off the top of my head. Like the one girl, she picks up the phone, and remember, this sounds like an old telephone. Like if you were listening to somebody talking on the phone, the person on the phone, this does real good. But the next day, like the first time the girl picks up the phone, and I go, this is an obscene phone call, collect, will you accept the charges? And the way she reacted was just, boom. Oh my God. It was believable. So he had me say anything that came to my mind to get them to react. And I came up with Big Belly Bob's Burger Barn, home of the Bellbuster, just different things. So then the next night, because it played for a week, they were waiting for me to say something different, but then you got their natural reaction. I guess I'm not trying to boast, but it was really interesting how this worked. This is why I keep going back and doing stuff for him. It was funny to me, but all right, doesn't sound so funny now. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I do 360 stuff too. And what I do is, I don't know what 360 camera you have, but I have the, what does it have? Insta360 X4 and 5. But I use a Lark Max 2 wireless microphones. And I put these on. And then I put the wireless microphone in here. This acts as a wind muff. And then it's into my body, so when I'm walking, it picks up the sound really nicely. But I'm sure you can do it with a Rode Wireless Go, anything. Just put them in there. And I got that from watching the Shoe Shine guys. That gave me that idea. But it works out really well. The Lark Max 2 has a module that plugs right into the Insta360 X4 and 5. It plugs right into it. And then it controls it all. Really easy to use. Not a lot of equipment. It's great. Alrighty then. Good night. Sleep tight. I do a lot of stuff with 360 for work. I came up with a process for training. So I love the 360, but I do a lot of VR stuff. So they got a headset on and they can do what they have to do, and they can touch it with their hands and pick up tools. But for all of this, I go to with, I don't know, let me start over again. It's not VR, it's augmented reality. So I go in and take the 360 of the equipment they're supposed to be working on. When they put the headset on, they're really working on the equipment. So, it's not made up. And I do the sounds and everything with it, so it's real life. You picking up what I'm throwing down? It's real. And because of this training way I do this, these guys learn a lot easier and better. But I do the sounds and everything, but let me preface that. I do the sound separately so I can control it. So when it's in the headset, I can turn it down a little bit instead of fighting over it. Does that make sense? And I used to do that with the GoPro Max 2. I probably rolled off into a bender on that one. But when I do ambient noise, early in the morning, I'll walk through the city. If I'm doing paths, or I just walk right down to the path. I think that's what you're looking for. I usually do it early in the morning because people aren't around. Oh, a gem, the GoPro Max. It's a camera. It's a 360 camera. I think that's what you're saying. It's a 360 camera. It shoots 360 degrees for like a VR or a surrounding. The GoPro Max 2 also records in, I want to say it right, spherical. It records in 362, so it's got the mics built in and they're not bad. That record the 360 sound, the ambient, the spherical sound. I love tapping on this foam board. I've actually did commercial work using that sound. I've been in a pinch and just used the GoPro Max 2 just for the sound. I use it as a microphone. What do you mean the board? Here? All right, I think I know what you're saying. It's not spherical sound, it's spatial audio. Sorry, spatial audio. And for that, hang on. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm using Synco mics because when I start tapping, I don't want to be breathing. But I use the Zoom H2 Essential for spatial audio. That sounds kind of cool. Spatial audio. Yeah, my voice, one for tingles if I want to, triggers, and just I shut them off just because it's live. I have no audio chain in here, so because I want it to be really live. And what happens is I get clumsy and I slap stuff around, so I try to shut it off. All right, see now I have them both on. Mic's still kind of hot. And because I have no audio chain going, you hear a lot of the background. The Essential is awesome. Gives you some control. The original one, the H2N for spatial audio, spatial audio does a lot better. Maybe not a lot, but it's a little more. Now, don't get me wrong; they're both awesome, but the H2N was just solid, and it's probably because I used it for so long. I knew how it worked, and instead of carrying a big old Sonillo with some Sennheisers in it, and everybody stops you and goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And you got to go, "Yeah, well, I was recording sound," but just having that smaller equipment and the Essential smaller than the other one, and it's got 32-bit float, so that beat it out from me buying an H2N again. But back to what I was saying, because shiny, it's a lot nicer to have. People don't draw attention to having that recorder to record spatial audio. Yeah, I'm telepathetic. I can read minds. But anyways, Yes, 32-bit float. It's not how they advertise it, but it is nice for spatial audio. There you go. My heater just kicked off. When I don't run an audio chain, and I'm in the middle of switching over to software, my de-esser, my noise canceling, and everything's in the audio chain. So when I go live, I don't like to use an audio chain because I can't monitor the artifacts, and if something messes up, I can't change it because I'm live. So I shut it all off. I figured, hey, let's just go naked. Yeah, 32-bit float for ASMR. Yeah, it works. You can't peak. So that's always really nice. I don't know if you film a lot or use cameras. Why does that keep going hot? Or if you use a lot of cameras, but it gives you all the information, so you have more room to play with it later. So you can bring down the highs, you can bring up the lows. It's nice. It's really nice. And you said, don't get old, it sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but you've never seen anybody use 32-bit float. Have you ever listened to any of my videos? All of them are on 32-bit float. I do that through the Tascam Border Capture X8. Oh yeah, and the Hollyland Lark Max 2s, the wireless lavalier microphones that I use so much, they're 32-bit float. And each one, this is what's really good for ASMR, they each do a separate recording, so you're getting a stereo mix in your headphones and in your camera. But I also click the buttons and I get a backup on each recorder. And that's 32-bit float through the chain. So if I take my Tascam X8 or my Zoom 5 Studio, it's a full chain of 32-bit. And that's impressive. All right. So you're getting into it. It's fun. People will tell you you can't. I will tell you you can. You can make a lot of money. And there's plenty of resources to learn. So watch Peter McKinnon. Who else? I'm a commercial photographer. Okay. I am a commercial stills photographer. I do video too, because to survive, you got to do video. I work for corporations, and I work in the advertisement marketing section, and then their safety and distribution. So I do their marketing, art, cameras, video, sound, and I do their safety information because the company I work for is ginormous. Everything's got to have a safety video. Pictures for manuals, video for training, sound to make it realistic. And that's where I'm at, but there's a ton of different things you can do. You use a red camera. I own a red camera. I'll be really honest with you. I work for a big company, and they always said, matter of fact, yeah, I came in with a project and they rant and raved about, oh my gosh, this has spatial audio. This is so clear. That red camera is so awesome. I can't believe everything you do is incredible. I've worked for them for 7 years now, and I've never shot anything for them on my red camera. A GH5 is what I shoot with. I have the red camera. But what I do, I don't need it. And they're happy. It's just a lot of money, so be careful. The other problem, not really a problem. Do you have the Komodo dragon? Yeah, I didn't mean to come off all smug like that, but it's just being in business and doing this for a living. What I have to produce doesn't need a red. I have a red halo, but it doesn't need the red. So I have a $65,000 paperweight. Not really, I'm going to sell it. All right. The 6K model, not the X. What are you going to do with it? What are you planning on doing with it? Oh, yeah. No, I know that. That's what I was saying. The work always says, oh, he does it on a red. I have honestly never shot anything on a red for them. And they will swear that I did. But they do. They don't do spatial audio. But they do some beautiful stuff. Now, Nikon owns them now, so I'm interested in this new stuff they got coming out. Yeah, I'm in the middle of that. That's before the cooties came. I started work on a doc called Eating and Drinking in Faith. And yeah, I hear you. I like doc work too. Yeah, it's just too new right now. I need to let it get worked in. It's the same but different. Just a way of looking at it. I got in a conversation with a young lady who was talking about headshots, taking headshots. And you have to know your customer. Okay. So she couldn't understand how I can still today do headshots. I said, well, because I get a lot of them. She goes, I do headshots and I can only get 1 or 2 a week. I said, that's the difference. Your client is that person. My client is the company she works for. That's how you have to look at it. When you go corporate commercial, you're working for that company. So the big problem that you got to learn to do, I don't know if everybody has to learn to do this, but I sit at a meeting with 9 people and they all tell me what they want, and they're all completely different and completely random and completely weird. And I got to wrangle these folks in and hand them something that all of them will sign off on. But other than that, it's the same as anything else. Just a different client. right, you guys. It's time for me to get on down the road. It's been great talking with you, Charlie. Thank you, folks, for coming in. I'll be here next Sunday for SNL, Sunday Night Live. Enjoy. Have a good evening. And I'll see you next time.